Welcome to Moose Plays, everyone. I'm the Liquor Moose, and today we'll be going over Season 3, Week 6, Battle 2 match. This is against the Waterloo Weaviles, coached by Kyle. So his team is actually quite scary. Not only does it have Tapu Lele, which in most other leagues is banned, it also does... Luckily, this isn't Mega Metagross. That's just broken as all hell. But Mega Venusaur is a significant bulky Pokemon, as well as scary offensive threats like Terrakion. He does have Garchomp on his team as well. Along with even just some good defensive Pokemon like Mandibuzz is really good, and the aforementioned Mega Venusaur obviously. And he also does have Milotic, which I was actually quite scared of competitive Milotic for this match. But upon team analysis, I realized that much like in my Week 4 match, Sticky Webs plus Swords Dance Haxorus absolutely wrecks his team. So that was by far, that was the plan for the match, was Sticky Webs, Swords Dance Haxorus, and it can just clean. As the common Choice Scarf users on his team, other than the Garchomp, I suppose, will not be able to outspeed Haxorus after Webs. But regardless, Terrakion posed a huge threat, and Scarf Chomp was the big thing I was really scared of. Unfortunately, don't have Weavile like I did last year, as that could check it quite well. But Mudsdale is able to just eat up Scarf Chomp hits there's nothing to it. So that was a good choice for me. Carrying Earthquake, Heavy Slam, Protect, and Toxic, just like the normal stuff that I would bring on the defensive Mudsdale. Then, once again, we have the Galvantula. Like I said, the Sticky Webs seemed really important in this match. Thought on preview that that he didn't have removal, but it does turn out that that Drifblim does get defogged. A little unfortunate for me, but hey, what can you do? But other than Sticky Webs, carrying Thunder because of Compound Eyes, better than Thunderbolt. Also carrying Volt Switch because if he doesn't have Garchomp, then I can just Volt Switch around his entire team. Notable that this does speed tie with Terrakion, which is a little unfortunate, but again, not much I can do about it. Then also carrying HP Ice for the Garchomp, and really the Bug Buzz was not needed against Kyle's team. Doesn't hit Tapu Lele super effectively because of the Fairy typing, and it doesn't hit anything on his team super effectively, so I figured just having HP Ice and not being stonewalled by Garchomp would be better. It is also carrying Focus Sash, so that way I could, because I will lead with this. If I lead this, then I can guarantee Sticky Webs up. Once again, Mega Lop coming in. Sort of in the same vein as Haxorus. This thing is just devastating in general with Sticky Webs up. Not as devastating as Haxorus for this match, but like I said, Lop. So most of the standard stuff on Lop brought Return, High Jump Kick, bringing Power Up Punch this time, just in case I can kill something with little HP, get an attack boost. Also carrying Ice Punch again for the Garchomp, just really good. Plus it does hit Drifblim super effectively, which is kind of whatever. I mean, Return actually does more to it. And then, like I said, Haxorus, Swords Dance variant with Dragonium Z. So it's carrying the Swords Dance, Outrage, Earthquake, and Poison Jab. Obviously the Poison Jab for Lele. Earthquake, pretty good coverage against this match. Just looking at his team, he has Metagross, Salazzle, and Terrakion, which are all weak to it. Brought the Dragonium Z Outrage because surprisingly, at +2, a fully physically defensive Mandibuzz does survive it, and Oko back with Foul Play. So I needed the Z move to be able to guarantee the knockout on the Mandibuzz after the Swords Dance boost. That's pretty self-explanatory stuff there. Couldn't really speed creep much because Haxorus is base 97 speed, and he has both Tapu Lele and Electivire, which are both 95 base speeds. So figured no speed creeping is really necessary there. And then I did speed creep a little bit with Lop because his fastest Pokemon is Swallow, which is 125 speed, and I'm 135 with Mega Lop. But past that, especially defensive Heatran because, like I mentioned last year when Alex Turner had Salazel, this thing absolutely gets stonewalled by Heatran. I was actually considering that. I figured he would bring HP Ground for Salazel, but that was the only thing that could touch it. If he brought HP Ground, as it doesn't even get Focus Blast, which is surprising. But yeah, other than that, Heatran just like is immune to both of its stabs, and normally on like ladder and standard play, he would carry either HP Ice or HP Grass, which both of which Heatran 4 times resists, so he doesn't really care about Salazel other than HP Ground. And finally, we're bringing Life Orb Zelf with Nasty Plot, as well as like Bolt Beam-esque coverage with Psychic, Thunderbolts, and Flamethrower. With Nasty Plot, Life Orb, like 90 base power, 100 accuracy attacks are always like they just prove to be fantastic A, coverage options, and B, just reliable attacks. As if you watched with in my first battle in week 6 against Liam, Fire Blast missed a couple times with Zelf. So Flamethrower proves to be just slightly more reliable, especially when I'm Nasty Plotting. But yeah, like in the same vein as like kind of Haxorus and Lop, this could be devastating under Sticky Webs. So I did choose to bring this. So like I said, I'm gonna lead with Galvantula to try to get the webs up. But seeing as he does lead Salazel, and me seeing that like I was kind of hoping that he wouldn't bring a Defogger, just so that way the webs were up there for good. So me not wanting to like pop the Focus Sash right away in case he does defog the webs away, I instead decide to switch out, and I can't Volt Switch because Salazel is faster. So I go into Heatran here, hoping he doesn't have HP Ground, or he Nasty Plots. And obviously you can't see, like, because like this is a replay obviously, so the timing's a little skewed. However, during the match, he waited a really long time after I switched this in, which did indicate to me that he did not bring HP Ground, which he doesn't. He reveals to have HP Grass here, which obviously, so now we note that like Heatran does not care about Salazel at all in this match. So that was an easy Stealth Rock click for me. And then I went with Lava Plume here, just because like I could have went on Heatran. I guess I didn't mention his moves. I had Lava Plume, Flash Cannon, and then Stealth Rock and Toxic. I didn't bring Earth Power this match, as it does hit Salazel and Terrakion. But I mean, I had 2 Earthquake users in Mudsdale and Haxorus already. Not to mention, I wanted this to have something that could put a dent in Tapu Lele. So I opted with Lava Plume like over Flash Cannon here, just because like both options, A, were not very effective against Salazel, and B, had 2 targets on Kyle's team that were super effective against. So I mean, me not clicking Flash Cannon here is whatever. I unfortunately don't get a burn, but this was a pretty easy click into Mudsdale for me to try to defend this. Life Orb Terrakion is really scary. It's actually, it's kind of an anecdotal thing. It's actually getting banned in almost any ability, because you can put adaptability on this, and the Life Orb set on that is just ridiculous. So anyways, he does withdraw. I go for a Protect here, just kind of wanting to see, or no, sorry. I go for Earthquake here, trying to attack it, figuring that he couldn't Oko me again, but he does go into Drifloon here. I Protect here because I want to see what this Drifloon will do. I kind of figured a Will-O-Wisp would be coming, but I just wanted to make sure. Also, seeing that a Will-O-Wisp is coming, I do go into Heatran, hopefully he to like see if he could hopefully activate Flash Fire. Instead he just goes for the Defog, fair play on his part. But then he switches out, which indicates to me he can't really do a whole lot to it. So I just kind of went for the Flash Cannon, expecting him to go Terrakion again. Get a special defense drop, which is honestly whatever. But I think he realized at this point that like Salazel's just a sack, because it cannot touch Heatran at all. Like, this is an absolute free switching into Salazel. So he goes Metagross here, as I just click Flash Cannon again. Again, me not thinking, like, he has 2 other weaknesses to it. So I go into Mudsdale here to try to defend against this. I do it pretty well. Get the stamina boost. Expecting a Drifloon again. I do go for the Protect just to see what happens, but unfortunately that does fail. So I get some health back. So I figured that, like, yes, this is an easy click into Heatran for me, but I figured I could go another Protect, because even if he does Nasty Plot, it still can't do like anything to Heatran. so I can just recover a bit of health before I go into Heatran. So I protect again, and he does reveal that flamethrower. So after I get some HP back, it is easy to go into Heatran here, as he does activate Flash Fire. And now I do click Lava Plume here, but me forgetting that it was Life Orb, I could have probably just set up rocks here. It would have been easier. Like, slight misplay, but ultimately doesn't really matter all that much. As he does go into Terrakion here, and I have to let Mudsdale go down here just to defend. Or no, right, I forgot I did this. Sorry. I had 2 matches and like... Anyways, seeing that Terrakion, I just kind of looked in Terrakion, couldn't Oko Azelf, and I could pressure him with Psychic, which would Oko him. So I went into here, and luckily he clicked the best move he could have clicked for the situation, which is Earthquake, which this is immune to. So seeing that he still couldn't Oko me, I figured this would be a good time to Nasty Plot. As I do Nasty Plot here, and now I have pretty free reign, so I just go for the Flamethrower here. This is an easy kill. I'm surprised he didn't go Bullet Punch. Maybe he wasn't carrying it, but regardless. So he goes Lele here. I can't Oko. And I didn't really know what this was going to do or whether it was Scarfed, so I just decided to go Heatran. Moonblast comes in, does pitiful damage. He does get a special attack drop, which is kind of crappy, but it's not the end of the world. So once again, with him switching out here, that leads me to believe that he was choiced. I'm not really sure what yet, though. I'm pretty sure it was... maybe it was Scarf. I don't remember. I guess we'll find out here. But yeah, I went for the Flash Cannon on Terrakion. Deal a decent chunk. Once again, I have to let Mudsdale go down here, as I kind of figured he wouldn't, Earthquake twice, seeing that I switched into Azelf. So I do go into Lopunny to try to pressure this, and I do try for the Power-Up Punch tactic here to try to knock up the Terrakion and get an attack boost. So now here, so seeing that his Drifblim is like the Psychic C on Burden set, I wanted to put him in a situation where he was pretty much forced to withdraw the Drifblim and lose the speed boost. So I go into Heatran here, expecting a Will-O-Wisp, honestly. Turns out he was carrying Explosion, which still does pretty poor damage to Lava Frog, considering its Explosion. So he goes into Lele here. I kind of figured that, with the fact that he switched out, I figured he would be like Psyche Z. I didn't really think he would be choiced. I kind of figured it would just be Psyche Z. But regardless, I figured he wasn't carrying Focus Blast because he switched out earlier, not thinking that he was choiced. But honestly, in hindsight, he was probably Scarfed. As he goes for the Focus Blast here, doesn't pick up the kill, and I'm pretty sure that is Scarf damage. So I just go for the Flash Cannon, deal a good chunk here. Honestly, seeing that like this thing dealt a good chunk to the Lele, and it did kill both the Drifblim and the Salazzle, I just kind of figured it was okay for this to go down. But luckily he misses the Focus Blast, so Heatran's actually going to get the kill on the Lele, which is perfectly fine with me. As he goes into Terrakion here, and again, like, same thought process, it's okay for the Heatran to go down at this point, as the Life Orb recoil does kill this. I'm not really sure how the KOs work there. So now all he's left with is Venusaur. I just go into Azelf. I did consider throwing in Haxorus to try to like Swords Dance, outrage it, but honestly I just figured I'll let Azelf do the work, as it's done the work the rest of the previous game. So yeah, Nasty Plot. Whether I Nasty Plot then Psychic or 2 Psychics, either way, it's 2 turns to kill, so I just went for the Psychic right away. But yeah, so with me prepping, figuring that Sticky Web's Haxorus would crush his team, ended up not even needing literally either of those Pokemon. Little nice for me. However, I still think it would have been nice to see the Sticky Web side come out. But I'm perfectly okay with a 4-0 win. So now I believe we'll be at 5-2 with, I guess our record would be +7 now. But yeah, so that was good. Our next match is a little odd. It's against the Pocket Monsters. However, the coach of that, which was Alex Turner, she had to drop out of the league. So we did get a new coach to take over that team. I believe his name is Andre. I don't know if it's Andre or Andreas, or however he wants. he likes it to be pronounced. But regardless, so he gets to customize his team a little bit because he joined halfway through the season. He's allowed to change his team up based on what was left over after the draft. So a little prep will be needed for that one. But yeah, so that was my second match for Week 6. Keep your eye on the channel for the Week 7 battle against the Pocket Monsters. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.